sing the whole day long, it's not enough.
Lord, 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 Lord. Can I just rant for a minute? Just for a minute, okay? Let me tell you, I'm not that hard to get along with. You know, especially on a job, you know, on a gig where I'm singing and having a good time. I'm usually the life of the party. You know what I'm saying? I am there to enjoy myself, to have a good time, to sing for the people, to show off a little bit. You know, I dance and have. I just am the life of the party. But don't mess with my check. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many of you feel like this, but don't mess with my check, because when you mess with my money, and I'm starting to worry about if I can pay my rent, and if the bills are gonna, you know, be coming due, and they're gonna be late, I'm gonna have, you know, problems. Then I start getting upset. I start to get nervous, and I cannot do what I do as well. And what brings this to mind for me at this moment is because I have been waiting on this check that's supposed to be here on Saturday. Okay. So it wasn't here Saturday, and I was like, okay, cool, because sometimes the mail comes in on Monday, you know, so I'm like, I'm not worried about it. So Monday I check and there's nothing there, and I'm like, oh, Lord. So I start getting a little, you know, feeling in the pit of my stomach. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I said, okay, well, maybe it's the mail, you know, let me wait another day. So I waited and go down today, of course, and I hate, like, just going checking the mail, you know, and I'm pretty much staying home, you know, because I'm, like, waiting. I ain't going out running, going shopping, doing nothing, because I'm waiting on the check to come, you know. I go down today and what? No check. You said it. So me, I'm warming up something, you know, in the kitchen and stuff like that. I immediately jump on the phone, call the office, and I'm like, listen, what's going on? You know, I ain't get my check today. The woman was like, well, you know, you haven't worked for us since the 16th of it. And I had my book open already. So, well, excuse me, I worked on the 23rd, and I'm still waiting on an underpayment for. And she's like, let me check for you. She comes back and is like, oh, well, somebody else had to send out that check because blah, 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 blah. You know, and it was sent today. Today? I was trying to be nice because, you know what, the person on the phone probably had nothing to do with it. You know, it's other people's mistakes and stuff like that. And you don't want to rail and rant at somebody, and it's not their fault, and it's something that they had no control over. You know, and I realized that, so I never ever do that. But I was irritated. I'm sure it showed in my voice, and I'm just like, this is a problem, you know. My money needs to be here on time. And so she was like, oh yeah, this is taken care of, and the other thing, yeah, that's going to reflect in your next paycheck 6 weeks later or 4 weeks later. I don't know. No, it'll be 4 weeks later if it comes correctly next time. Come on, people. You know, I have left jobs because they didn't pay me right, or because they didn't pay on time. Let me tell you, I was on a cruise ship in the Caribbean. This was 95, right? We rehearsed for like 3 or 4 weeks, and down in Cocoa Beach, Florida, you know, and, you know, it was a good show. We were doing a few reviews on this cruise ship. I'll never forget it. I don't know if I should say the name, but I'm not going to say it. But anyway, and we get on the ship, and one of the performers that was getting off was like, good luck getting your money. And we were like, okay, whatever, you know. So we're on the ship for like a week, and we hear like little rumblings of people haven't been paid and stuff like that for like a week, a month, stuff like that, you know. So we're supposed to get paid every 2 weeks. So the second week runs around, and I ain't had no check. So I was in Key West, Florida. I called my office, the producer office, and I said, we haven't been paid. And he was like, oh yeah, they're having problems. I was like, listen, there will be no show for me tonight if I do not have either pay in my hand or I have something signed saying that I am guaranteed my money, and I will not be staying on this ship any longer. So they were like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, just do the show, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, listen, if you could send me something signed saying what's going on and that I'll be paid my money within so many days, then yeah, I'll do the show. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. So sure enough, I didn't get nothing from these people. And did Robert go on? Robert did not go on in that show that night. They revamped it. They got somebody else to do another piece. They did, you know, and this was one of the shows, I think it was called Shout, where I was, you know, it was the 60s Motown kind of show. So I was like the star of the show. I was like, I'm not, And the cruise director came down and he talked to me, so I got to sign you off the ship. I was like, I was leaving anyway. I was leaving as soon as we docked in Miami tomorrow, you know. And he was, oh no, we was Tampa. It was Tampa. We were docking in Tampa. And he was like, well, you know, if I was you, he's like, I don't feel, you know, he was like, I would do it if I didn't have a mortgage and stuff like that. He's like, it's been a month since I've been paid, and I have to wait around and see what's going to happen. And I was like, listen, 2 weeks, I'm cutting my losses and running. Forget that, you know. And sure enough, as I was walking off the ship, I was actually waiting for them to count my money, because by maritime law, they're supposed to pay you when you leave the property. But while I was waiting, the U.S. Marshals came on the ship and seized it, because they had not paid their bills for, like, with these different, you know, vendors and stuff for a while, and they had taken them to court, and they seized the ship. So they were like, oh, we have to count everything before anything leaves the ship. So my money was a part of what had to be counted. And they were like, well, you want to stay? I was like, no, I'm not sticking around. I will see you. Oh, whatever. They're like, well, you might not get paid if you... Listen, I'm gone. I had been to... Well, we had Cocoa Beach. We were there for rehearsal. We were in Tampa. We were in Key West. We went to Cozumel. And we went to the Bahamas. We went to Nassau, Bahamas. Twice each place, I think. Or maybe 4 times to Key West, twice to Cozumel, twice to Nassau. You know, so I was like, listen, I got me a good vacation out of this. I'm done. So I have walked off jobs, and I will tell people, listen, just have my money. People, I don't know if you're still here, if you're still listening, because I very rarely rant, right? I'll probably put this on my vlog channel. But I could deal with a lot of bull, a lot of drama, a lot of things. But if my check ain't there, bye-bye. See ya. Do you feel the same way? Can you deal with a lot of stuff as long as your check is there and right? Yeah, because, oh Lord, it's just a mess. All right, peace, I'm out.
I could sing the whole day long, it's not enough.